we've got 3 pillars for our emotional methodology, which is identification, trust, and hope. So identification is basically where you're identifying with this prospective client with their emotionally stressful situation that they're in right now. Because if you don't identify with them, then you can't unlock them. People are buyers and they have walls all around them. The way to break down those walls, to even get them to listen to you and to consider you, is to identify with them. Once you've identified with them, then you can build trust, and only then. And that building trust basically are all of your differentiators getting fused into a section talking about who you guys are, what your practice areas are, all of the above. And after that, even if you've identified with them and you've unlocked their ability to trust you and you've built that trust with them now, if they don't feel the hope they're going to get the justice they deserve from the case, they're not going to work with you unless the other attorneys out there are terrible. But there's a lot of competitive markets that we're in right now that are across the country, and typically people have pretty good options in front of them. So you want to have the ultimate sales pitch that you can. And that's what these 3 emotional pillars do. When you have them in your video, they create your ultimate sales pitch video. Like a lot of times attorneys say, and I'll have a conversation with them. I'll say, hey, when somebody is speaking with you, right? Let's say intake passes them on to the attorney. However it is, when the attorney actually is sitting across from someone, and I say to him, hey, could you convince somebody to work with you? Every single time. They say, yeah, every time. I'll always convince someone to work with me. So I say, okay. So then the next best thing to that conversation is this video. If you could have that in-person conversation with someone and convince them to work with you, imagine we could do that with the power of video. And then every single time someone is considering working with you, they're going to have that punch. And no one else out there that they're looking at will have anything close to it.
The consideration stage a lot, right? And that's what I feel like I'm hearing a lot of. It is also landing page videos, right? Like that helps substantiate who I am. I made my way to it one way or another. That journey could have come in 1,000 different ways. For some people, the journey in finding a personal injury lawyer is someone said, you should hire a personal injury lawyer because you've been in a wreck. And so they search personal injury lawyer near me, and they just want to get through the process and they click real quick. Now that's one example. Other people do a lot more research, but they click, they land on a landing page, and now they're on that landing page and they have something substantial like that, because even though they're moving through that pipeline very quickly, they're right there in consideration. We have a chance to convert them, but they probably are spending a little bit more time now just making sure that it makes sense for them to contact you. And if you can overlay those emotional aspects, I think it's going to be very important along the way. And those pillars that you mentioned for personal injury law, I think blend well with, I mentioned earlier, I like formulas, right? Because especially when it comes to creativity, because it gives you the guideposts, but you can turn it into so many different things. You can be cheeky with it. You could be serious with it. You could be impactful and powerful with it, but you can still accomplish very similar things and hit your emotional pillars. And then on the formula side, on my end, when I'm talking about like a TV commercial, a 30, 15-second TV commercial, I'm trying to do those things that you mentioned, but I'm in such a short time frame. And I'm also trying to be direct response and brand building that I work off of the pillars of ease, speed, and greed. And I did not make that up. I've worked with some amazing people who had come across that in their own work. The people at Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys and other production companies I worked with. And ease being the ease of making the entire message feel simple. So is it easy to understand what the firm does? Is it easy to understand when I should call? Is it easy to contact the firm? And is the process going to be easy? Now, you can communicate that very quickly and concisely, but it's an underlying aspect of, is this going to be easy? Which, if you make it easy, you're getting rid of the friction, right? The other one is speed. So that's about the urgency, the response, the relief. Typically, in the personal injury space, the hiring window is actually pretty short, 4 days or less in many instances. And sometimes it's almost immediate. And they're in an emergency state, so they're taking emergency actions. And so we need to communicate to them, speed. They can call now, they can call anytime. They will talk to someone immediately. They will get their answers fast. We're going to start moving forward quickly for them. They don't have to wait on the insurance company. So ease and then speed, and the last one being greed. And that's the one that kind of gets a bad rap for a lot of people. Because when they think greed, you think money, you think of wanting money and the whole accomplishment being money. And it's true, that is the money aspect. But ultimately, you're hiring a personal injury lawyer for a couple reasons. One is you're not sure what to do. But the other is probably because you're having money issues, because you have medical bills, you have a messed up car, and you don't know what to do. And you need to make sure that you're putting food on the table, right? And so being able to communicate clearly that the insurance company is not automatically on the injured person's side, that we may get you more money than what the insurance company says, that you're more likely to get more money if you hire a personal injury law firm. And we have proven success of doing that for people like you. And I think that's where the settlements and the big numbers can come in a way that makes sense, because you're making sure that you're not pushing it out there to tout. You're pushing it out there as proof of work that I did this for these people who fit the profile of who you are. And I want to do that for you now.